Let's do this.
All right, welcome back to another episode of BeerFormers.
Yes.
I'm Dave. This is my wife, Noel.
Hi.
And we're here to talk about two things we love, Transformers for me, and
beer for me.
She has to drink to put up with me. So
do what you gotta do.
Our last episode, we talked about the Transformer, the Decepticon named Overlord. And so today, to kind of go along with that, believe it or not, we're going to talk about this guy here, who many of you, if you glance at it, if you know anything about Transformers, might recognize this one.
Yeah, that's Optimus Prime.
It's Optimus
I
Prime.
know that.
Yeah. So this is a special Optimus Prime. This one is Powermaster Optimus Prime, and he's got some other things going on.
You were obsessed with these Powermasters.
Well, last week, yeah, it was Powermaster was what Overlord was.
Yes.
And this is a Powermaster version of it. So this one has an interesting history because in Japan it was also a little bit different. Okay, in Japan this figure was called Jinrai. If you remember from the last episode, I talked about over there, they were called Godmasters, and the little engine figure that that plugs into the front here, the last of the transformer.
A boom box.
Yep. This was the actual Transformer in Japan.
Oh.
Okay. So Jinrai was this human guy who had these magic bracelets. He cleaned them together. He turned into this armored mode. And then he could plug into this robot body that just happened to look like Optimus Prime. It was revealed in some fiction later on from Japan, like in a magazine.
In your headcanon?
This is not headcanon.
Okay.
It was revealed in a magazine in Japan that the body had been built to be, in case they found a way to bring Optimus Prime back from the dead. And Jinrai just happened to luck upon it and plugged into it and became that. Yeah. So that's why he happened to look like Optimus Prime, although he wasn't.
What does Jinrai mean? That's an interesting name.
It's Japanese. The one translation I saw was something like thunder clap or something like that.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
So it's like the sound of thunder, or it's got the word clap in it, so you can do it that way you want to. We watched an interesting video last night about that kind of stuff on this YouTube channel that Noah likes to watch called Periscope Film. Anyway, I digress. So, but in America, Optimus Prime dies at some point. Spoiler alert! In the movie. And he gets brought back in this form here. He gets a new body built for him. And this guy was an alien named Haikyuu who could transform into his engine.
Haikyuu, like IQ?
Yes.
But it was a high IQ, and they put it in the one where that's clever.
So what makes this one really cool, in my opinion, is that the cab transforms into your regular Optimus Prime. And Noel's going to get to transform this one here in a minute. But then the trailer, which the original Optimus Prime was opened up to like a base. Yeah,
and it had a little car with 6 wheels that came rolling out of it.
And the base,
I remember that from grade school.
The base had like a robot inside to help repair things, and the little car was called Roller.
Wow.
And Roller and the base basically were extensions of Optimus Prime.
Did he roll?
He could roll.
So it wasn't just a clever name.
And Roller made one appearance in the comic book, in the cartoon, where he actually had to go look for Optimus Prime, and he beeped like R2-D2 and stuff.
Oh, that's so cute.
But it's supposed to be just extensions of Optimus. So this trailer now, though, it turns into a base and like the old one, but also adds on to him and gives him like a boost up, like some extra armor and stuff.
Wait a second. You promised me that whatever I was transforming this week was not going to be 2 things like it was last week.
Well, I lied sometimes. But this one's pretty cool. So we're going to put this over here for a minute. We'll let Noel try it here in just a minute. We'll talk about some of the other versions of this one here. So
I can transform this.
You can transform Haikyuu.
Look at this.
Here's a version of the trailer in small version. This is from what was called the Transformers Junior line. This came out in Japan. These were just smaller versions of the figures that basically transformed in the same way. So while Noel's trying that one, I'll try this one here eventually in a second. But you see, give you an idea, the trailer does become something that looks sort of like a base, and the cab becomes basically the exact same robot as this.
Okay.
So like last week when you did Overlord, you had something to look up.
So I got
This one will transform similarly. Okay. So if you get stuck, you can watch how I'm doing that one.
Okay, so I have some visual aids.
And the most recent version of this to come out is also Japanese exclusive.
Oh, that's massive.
Yeah.
Did I get that for you?
No, I got this for myself.
Okay. Keep track.
This is like his ultimate form. He has the ability to transform and combine with this trailer. And just as an added bonus here, I'll introduce this now too. In Japan, they came out with an additional trailer, like a double-decker trailer.
Oh my god! Like all the cars we see in a boat and a camper.
Or like you like see UPS trucks, and they've got like it's the cab and a trailer and a trailer. Okay. And this trailer was called God Bomber in Japan. Wow. Yeah, so you're gonna go bomb God, I guess this thing. This was never released in America. All right. Please. So here's headcanon time now.
Oh, boy.
When it did finally get a release in America as a reissue, they just called this the Apex Armor Upgrade. So this splits apart in a bunch of pieces. It does transform, but doesn't transform in the traditional sense. It just breaks apart, and then you put it back together in a different way. But this can attach to the back of this, and we'll look at that in a minute. It becomes its own robot too.
Okay. What's its name?
It was God Bomber.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the robot's God Bomber.
Yeah, and the when this was finally released as a reissue in America, like a Toys R Us store or something like that, this was just called the Apex Armor Upgrade. So the robot mode didn't necessarily have an official name. So in my headcanon, this is Roller who got an upgrade, right?
So that's so nice.
So this is just Roller that can do a little more than just be a little 6-wheeled vehicle that can add on to it.
Does he still talk like R2-D2, or has he upgraded C-3PO?
In his cartoon appearances in the Japanese cartoon, he does not speak.
Oh,
he's just
but this is
he's just controlled. Well, then he can do whatever I want in my head.
Right.
But he's just controlled by Genrai / Powermaster Optimus Prime. So this adds on even more armor pieces to that. And I won't. I'm not going to expect you to do this one because this one, as I said, just breaks apart.
Yeah.
But we'll show it at the end what it looks like. Essentially,
you'll probably have it all transformed by the time I get one arm bent on
this is those Kabaya toys. Oh. Okay. Kabaya is the candy company that put out little model kits and stuff. Yeah. This is what it'll turn into, just in a very small form. So you can see some bits of it here, like those wings here become the wings that are on here, and the big gun becomes a gun on the shoulder, and the big chrome silver part becomes this part here. But anyway, so this is kind of a guide for that too. But these Kabaya ones I think are really kind of fun just because even though you get the crappy gum, you get a little model kit that transforms in almost every way as the full size figure.
Hey, that gum was always crappy, but I remember getting it in cards when I was a kid, and it was fun.
Yeah,
loved it.
One thing Kabaya gum had over Topps baseball gum was it wasn't like a brick. Remember the baseball card gum? You had to you risk chipping a tooth.
Yeah.
This was really in a little foil pack. It was kind of soft gum. It just the flavor. Gone like that. Yeah.
They put more energy and money into the toy, which is probably a good thing.
So one last thing about this before Noel gives it a whirl is that in America, we only got this version here. And the Japanese version had die-cast metal front. The American version only had...
like plastic?
It was all plastic, yeah. And the American version with the cab part was a little more of a cream white color, whereas the Japanese version is silver. So this is the Japanese version. This is not the original one from 1988, though. This is the reissue one that I got on eBay several years ago because it came with God Bomber / the Apex Armor Upgrade. So my personal opinion, it's a superior figure, so that's why I have this one. So, Noel, go ahead and go. And we'll see how it goes.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How many different versions of Optimus Prime are there?
Oh my goodness, there's so many.
Can you count?
For what's considered generation 1.
So we're already off to a good start. I've got these into two pieces.
You got the cab off.
Okay.
Now remember, this is, unlike last week where you start off with Overlord as a robot, this is in vehicle form, obviously, which means you have to have the engine in place to be able to transform it.
To transform this? Mm-hmm. Okay, well,
so you need to transform it, and it plugs here in the front.
Okay.
So it goes in there.
Okay.
So you plug him in there, then that will allow him to be able to transform out of his cab mode there.
Okay. So why don't you tell us about all the different Optimus Primes?
In Transformers lore, there's lots of different generations, right? So the original generation that we had from 1984 to about 1990 was just called Transformers. Then about 1992, they came out with Transformers Generation 2, which retroactively made everything that came out before that Generation 1. So in Generation 1, there was only 3 Optimus Primes. There was the original toy that came out in 1984. There was Powermaster Prime that came out in 88. And then there was a Action Master Optimus Prime that came out in 1990. And the Action Masters were Transformers that didn't transform. Only their accessories did. So they were essentially action figures that look like Transformers. So she's got the cab mode done, okay? So yes, Optimus Prime.
Pretty excited about that.
What's kind of funny about this one is that, he's got the fake chest here on this side, but you flip it around and you see the actual, truck chest on that one now. So.
All right, so I'm going to try this one. You went a little easier on me this week. That was not...
The robot was pretty easy.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get that into essentially another giant robot again. So what I would do...
Oh my God, it's going to be another robot?
But he plugs into it.
This robot plugs into this. Oh, for pizza. Okay, yeah. I take back everything I just said.
So I'll help you out a little bit here because here's what you got. You've got...
I see something that looks similar poking out. Does this have to go back like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've basically got this. This doesn't transform 100% exactly the same, but there's the cab mode, right?
Okay.
So to transform it into the next robot mode, you want to flip those down, stand it up, flip the arms down, and then, you know, like you said, this little thing in the back goes out away.
Okay. So flip those back? No.
Flip those down.
Oh. Down. Yeah. Oh, like that.
Just like that, yep.
Okay. Now here's these arms.
Yep. You probably want to take some guns off.
Okay, so the guns do come off.
Yeah, yeah.
Sun's out, guns out. Okay. All right. Now I see little hands.
Mm-hmm.
How do I pop those out? There's got to be little slidey things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Look at regular skin.
Oh, they're there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're on the bottom. Okay. So I got that. Oh. Okay. So arm has to come up like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and now is this guy gonna go pop in here?
He'll pop in there. So what? I'll do it on the little one, see if you can figure it out. Okay, unless you want to try to figure out your own.
Oh well, we might be here all night.
The arms have to go up again.
All right.
You're basically gonna put it back into truck mode.
Oh.
Then you're gonna fold him in half.
Okay. So I gotta get those feet back down. Those were hard. Okay. Something ain't right. What am I doing wrong?
You got it. You're not seeing the thing you have to do. So he's got two calves, right?
Yeah.
Which one looks like the front of the actual what's going to be next?
This looks like the front.
Right.
So I got it backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Arms.
That's why you're a good teacher.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, that needs to get out of the way. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Now this just plugs in.
Does the head stay up?
Nope.
Okay.
If you do, but let's see what happens.
Is that right? That doesn't look like it's right. It's not all the way down.
So it'll plug into the body like so.
Right, like this. But look, that's not flat, so I don't think that's right. Okay, so I think I did something wrong.
Flip that up a little
bit.
Okay.
There you go. Oh, okay. All right, so it plugs in. Wow.
And then you have an additional head that attaches on.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, and I see where it goes. Right there. Then do the guns go in his hands?
So he's got these big black guns that come off too, and he's got the silver guns. So the fact that the silver, Optimus Prime traditionally has the smokestacks on his shoulders.
Yeah,
right?
that's what these are.
Those are the smokestack guns. Yeah.
Okay, so do I put those back on his shoulder like that?
Yep.
Okay. And then the guns in the back can go in his hands? So he can shoot Megatron and Starscream.
So she basically has made a much larger version of that.
Wow, this is so much better. I did a lot better this week. I think you went easy on me. All right. Now, why didn't you get out your Beast Wars version of Optimus Prime? Was that less like...
Because Beast Wars had Optimus Primal, which is a different character.
Yeah, but it's all like Optimus Prime, right?
It's not, though, because it's by Optimus Primal. So it's a different name, therefore it's a different person. So
they're not in the same universe?
They are in the same universe, yes.
Oh, okay.
So Optimus Prime was as a descendant of Optimus Prime. So think of it as like his grandson or something.
Oh, it's not the other way around? Like the animals weren't first and then they evolved into robots?
Right. No, it's the other way around.
Okay.
So turning into
just
animals
like
was an evolution. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So in America, this is all we got. We got this one here. And so it was the only Powermaster leader. The Decepticons didn't have a Powermaster because we didn't get Overlord.
Okay.
So this was like that. So this is how they brought Optimus Prime back. And, he led the Autobots in that form again.
Decepticons don't deserve
it. Again, the Japanese, though, got this thing. All right. So I'll show you the final upgrade for this and how he can become even more stuff. So notice everything's just kind of splitting off here. I will show you real quickly his robot form for Roller. We'll call him. We'll go ahead and use my headcanon term here. So Roller is an additional...
How do you remember all of this?
I don't know. It's just one of my weird things about me. I can't remember stuff like that.
I would have if I was a little kid, I would have been throwing these pieces across the room by this point. Yeah, look at that.
And
so it's like a puzzle. I mean, this one's literally a puzzle. If you have to take it apart and put it back together.
And in Transformers fandom, these are called parts formers. That's the kind of the nickname for them because they don't really transform. They just come apart and come together. So this is the God Bomber if you're from Japan, or the Apex Armor, or if you're living in Dave Shiver's world. This is Roller in his combined form. And notice he's basically the same size as Optimus Prime himself.
Cool. Does that make Optimus Prime feel threatened at all? I mean, Roller's now his equal.
If Roller is just an extension of Optimus Prime, it's just he's two places at once.
Is he secure in his leadership and
all
robot masculinity, I guess. I don't know, whatever the word is. Okay.
All right, so I'll do this really fast here to show how these parts add on. So the cab of roller becomes the new chest for Powermaster Prime.
There's nothing getting through that.
Okay. The roller's hands become additions to Optimus Prime's hands.
Wow.
Have
any of our dogs over the years ever chewed up any of these pieces? And you didn't tell me about it.
I think there was one time when they got into some pieces when we had our first house.
Yeah. And what'd you do?
I don't know. I think I yelled at them and then
I mean,
what could you do?
Find new pieces online
I think I did. I can't remember exactly 100% what I did, but
because I could see any of the dogs that we've had chewing this stuff up.
So the main part of roller just becomes things that make him a little bit taller, additions to his feet. These, instead of on his shoulders, become things that go on his legs now to kind of give him the ability to shoot you up if you mess with him, I guess. Don't mess with Powermaster Prime.
Do not.
This part goes on the back.
If I've learned anything today, it's do not mess with Powermaster Prime.
Do not.
What's that big thing on the back? That's just a hook into the cab. It doesn't have any function now.
Then you get some wings.
It's not like a bat gun.
Yeah.
Where you can shoot behind them really cool.
No, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be a move. Do any Transformers ever hit anything, actually, when they shoot?
Oops, I hit the microphone there.
Yeah.
I hit the microphone. Like when you watch G.I. Joe, every time a plane gets hit, you see the guy clearly eject because no one really dies.
I mean, I know obviously you already spoiled it that Optimus Prime does die at some point, but otherwise, are they pretty?
Yeah, I mean, people will get hit, but it just hurts them temporarily. All right, here's his final form. Here's Powermaster Prime with his.
That sucker's huge.
Now, if I were to have Overlord here, Overlord would still be taller. But so this just makes him bigger, more chromy. Makes him a little taller.
He's got a grill.
Yeah, and just gives him a little more.
Don't get all up in his grill.
He's a big brick. I mean, he's just a big.
I mean, I would not want to drop that on my foot.
No, especially with the metal parts inside. That makes him tough. But
can I see how heavy he is? Oh my gosh, yeah, that's got to be like 2 or 3 pounds, maybe even.
So this little version of a Kabai you see is basically the same thing. There's a few small differences. I'll show those on the screen here in a second too.
It's like, wait up for me, buddy.
And so the new one from Japan basically replicates all this just with modern styling. I know we don't have time to transform this one, but you can look up and I will show a picture of what this one looks like here. But you can see there's the parts.
Yeah.
And for roller.
He's got a sword.
He comes with a sword this time, yeah. The extra piece.
Is that a Cyberlon sword? Energon. Is that an Energon sword?
No, that looks like a real sword to me.
Oh, okay. I just in your headcanon though, it could be made out of Energon.
Usually, if it's made out of Energon, then the toys
in my headcanon,
they will actually make them kind of clear-ish plastic, like it could be glowing, like Energon actually
like
glows.
A lightsaber.
So the fact that this is actually just steel metal
here.
looking here, it's probably just supposed to be a real one.
But how effective is that going to be against other metal?
Because this ultimately comes from from Japan, and there's a big, the culture over there with swords and stuff. You see swords in almost every version of Transformers.
Oh, well, okay, that makes sense.
So apparently, I guess, if it's maybe made out of some super space metal, it can cut through other space metal, I guess.
That's it. That's in my headcanon now.
That super space metal.
Yeah, super space metal. I love it.
Yeah. So that's our Transformer for this episode, Powermaster Optimus Prime. My favorite Optimus Prime. This is my favorite.
That's your absolute favorite.
This is my favorite Optimus Prime figure, especially when he's all dudded up with all this extra stuff.
He is pretty cool.
Yeah, he's certainly the biggest normal Optimus Prime, I think. There's been a few other ones that have come out since then that might beat this in size, but for Generation 1, this was the one.
And there's not like a Megatron that's the equal to it.
No.
That's kind of a bummer.
Well, in the movie, Megatron gets turned into Galvatron, right?
Oh, I forgot that part.
So things get muddy because there was the cartoon continuity, there was a comic book continuity, and the Japanese split after the 3rd season to have their own cartoons completely that we never saw in America and stuff.
Though.
This came out in the cartoon called Master Force.
Master Force.
And so
I remember that theme song.
We never got, like I said, the Apex armor stuff, but we did get Powermaster Optimus Prime. But the cartoon was long done by then, so we never saw Powermaster Optimus Prime in a cartoon. So the Powermaster Optimus Prime, instead, they filmed like a CGI version of him that interacted with some kid named Tommy something or other, and they would introduce episodes for like the 4th or 5th season of Transformers when they just showed reruns and stuff. And I don't remember actually seeing that on TV back in the day, but you can find videos of it on YouTube and stuff as well.
YouTube is just the best.
YouTube is awesome.
I mean, man, oh man, you can find anything there now. I love it.
But going back to your original question, so Optimus, only had this version of him until and Megatron only had Galvatron.
Okay.
For no explained reason, when they came out to the Action Master line, which I alluded to, Optimus Prime, his next version that came out in the original Generation 1 toy line was Action Master Prime, which is a little figure about this tall that was just an action figure. It was suddenly Megatron again.
Okay.
So there was no, I think in the comic book they explained it, but there was no cartoon.
Folks, he's doing this with no notes. I don't know how he keeps it all straight. It's really impressive.
Which is probably why you have to drink sometimes.
Speaking of,
so let's talk about some beer now.
Let's talk about some beer. I definitely think we can celebrate my successful transformation of Overlord. What did I just do? Powermaster Prime. Powermaster Prime. Sorry, Overlord was last week, right?
Yes,
okay. Yes. My successful transformation of Powermaster Prime. So
while she's getting the beer, I will go ahead and continue to try to transform the Kabaya version, just to have something to do while she's pouring it. All right. And where's our beer from this week, or this episode?
So this episode, we have a beer from a place that was recommended to us, and it's become a tradition for us now. It's called Monday Night Brewing. Here's the beer we're going to try this time.
It says Drafty Kilt.
Or as I like to call it for some reason, Kilt Lifter. I can't get the name straight. So, Monday Night Brewing, apparently it has many locations. We thought the one we were going to was the only one, but it's actually the flagship. It was the very first, as they call it, the OG brewery.
Okay.
But there are a couple of locations in Georgia. There's one in Alabama, and there's a couple in Tennessee. Oh. So the one that we go to is, they call it the West Midtown location.
Okay.
All right, and so...
Which city are we talking about?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
So anyway, we love this place. Our daughter goes to school at Savannah College of Art and Design at their Atlanta campus, and Monday Night Brewery is pretty much right around the corner. So every time we've driven down there to either take her back to school or to pick her up, we always try to stop and have a couple beers while we're there because the atmosphere is really fun. Mm-hmm. It's got wide open spaces inside with nice big wooden tables. They've got a wonderful fire pit outside that we got to enjoy last time we were there. If you want food, they now have wood-fired pizza that they make in a converted storage crate. So it always smells great there. And they always have different beers every time we go. That's one of my favorite things about it. They have 20 taps there, so there's always something different going on, and you can take some home with you if you want to. They have packages there, so we always take some home, which is why we have Drafty Kilt, aka Kilt Lifter. So some of the ones that we really love that we've tried there. One is called Blind Pirate. It's a blood orange IPA, and I'm drinking out of my Blind Pirate glass from Monday Night Brewing. To give you an idea of some of the kind of varieties of beer they have there, another one that we love is called Stranger Danger, and it is a peanut butter cup imperial stout aged in bourbon barrels. But that is nothing compared to this one that my husband loves that he's had there. It's called Zombie Blood. It is a rum BA imperial sour with blood orange, grapefruit, key lime, pomegranate juice, toasted almonds, and spices. Again, the imagination of these brewers just blows me away. Today, the Drafty Kilt that we're drinking is a Scotch ale, which, full disclosure, Scotch ales are my absolute favorite kind of beer. So I'm very excited to taste our Drafty Kilt.
And look at that, just in time. I got Mini Optimus Prime attached
perfect
with the trailer. So you can see it's
Cheers
like a double trailer there. So, yep.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Drafty Kilt.
Speaking of Headmaster, look at the head on that.
Look at the head on that one.
Yeah.
How come I didn't get a head on that on mine?
I don't know. I'm not the best pourer, but I'm working on it. The head of this beer, it's it's a rich caramely color. It smells so malty. Oh, man, that's a nice sweet kick with a really roasty back end. Mm-hmm. This is an excellent Scotch. Scotch ale. Yeah, I'm getting myself confused now. I don't think it's as like dark and roasty as Dirty Bastard from Founders, which is my absolute favorite, but it's delightful. It's a really nice little Scotch ale that would be good with probably salty snacks. Good with some chips or some fries.
Meat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely with meat. This would be good if we were barbecuing outside right now. Oh, that's excellent. I'm just going to enjoy this. That's just a nice, rich flavor.
I like it.
Yeah. So anyway, Monday Night Brewing, check it out. If you're ever going down south, if you're in Atlanta, if you're in Nashville, if you're in Birmingham, Alabama, they have different tap rooms. I also found this out. I can't believe we haven't done this. You can do tours of their brewery at the Midtown, West Midtown Atlanta.
Oh, the one we always go to, huh?
On Saturdays from 3 to 5. So we're going to have to check that out. Maybe in a future episode, we can try another beer from there and give you the down low on the tour of the brewery.
Bring a transformer with me, too.
You sure could. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just noticing on this can. I realize that there's like lots of swirlies and stuff on it. We'll put a better picture up.
Ooh, that's really neat.
But there's little Scotty dogs all over it.
Oh my gosh. See, this is the other reason. As you can see, I collect bottles and cans. And a lot of it has to do with the art. I love the creativity that goes into what's on the outside of the can as much as I love what goes on inside the can or the bottle. Anyway, very good beer. Highly recommend Monday Night Brewery and everything they have to offer. So anything else you have to say to wrap up another episode of BeerFormers, Dave?
No, but like always, like we're always going to say here, I think we should always play responsibly
and drink
responsibly. And if there's anything that you love to talk about or collect, then go for it and just keep it up and keep having fun.
That's right. And if there's any Transformer that you'd like Dave to talk about, mention in the comments below. Any beer, any distillery, any spirit that you'd like for us to try just to shake things up a bit, put it in the comments below. And you know all the other things to do.
Hit all those buttons.
Hit all those buttons.
And if you like any other information about these or any other Transformers toys, 2 great places to go to are the Transformers Wiki, tfwiki.net. And on YouTube, Chris McFeely has a series of videos called The Basics on different Transformers. You would look up The Basics on Ginrai, Ginrai, is how they spell that, if you want to see specific information about this character / this toy. Otherwise, I'll see you next time on BeerFormers.
And it meets the rye.